All right, welcome to Copywriting Clinic number 11. We're getting up there now. This will be our third feedback session. And what I'd like to do is start doing these every other week. So we'll alternate between having a week of just everyone can bring their work and we can just free flow and do feedback. And then the other weeks, we'll do actual planned lessons. So that's kind of my thought, and that'll just kind of help with like the energy levels and everything too of, I've been really backed up in work. So like when I got to be like Thursday and Friday of this week, I was like, oh, I haven't even thought about a lesson for this week. I don't think I can adequately plan something that would have real substance. So, so I like the idea of doing these feedback sessions every other week. That'll kind of help out. Cool. Well, again, nobody put anything into
but
the
Kara,
prepared. What's up?
The best lessons are when we just ad-lib them.
Mm-hmm.
The more prepared we are, the less effective the lesson seems to be.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
We've had some good planned ones.
That's true. We've had everything. All 11 of them have been good.
We have. I've really enjoyed these. Yeah, Michael's working on typing some stuff up for us to look at, but I'm wondering if anybody else on the call has anything that we can take a look at.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Here, I'll put my video too, if I can, if it'll work. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Owen. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Owen.
I'm completely new to all this. I'm in the fourth season, I guess.
Awesome.
So coming in, I've been working on my website, so I could submit that if you'd be interested in taking a look.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you have a link you can drop into our chat?
Yeah, I can do that. Give me just a second.
So just a little tip, Owen, since you're brand new, you don't have to rewatch all of the copywriting meetings, but the first one, the one where we go like total overview of copywriting, how to write, what to write for which thing, that's a really, really good one. And so definitely worth watching. So I would highly recommend, especially before you get into emails for your business, make sure you watch that because there's some really important information there.
Okay, great.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
And welcome. Excited for season 4?
I'm very excited. I've been following the Tragedy and Hope folks for, God, I don't even know how long, since maybe 2011. So I feel like I owe quite a bit to those folks. And then I kind of went the sort of metaphysical route over the past few years. So that's what I'm trying to write a book right now. I'm almost done with the first draft. So.
So does that mean that you're a real life alchemist?
I mean, I wouldn't make a bold claim like alchemist, but I'm working on that. I really feel like individuality, freedom within, freedom without, right? Like as above, so below. Finding our most authentic selves, and that's a big key to identifying the goal. A big book on my journey was Reality Transurfing. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it is a Russian mystic book that is really, really good, really interesting. So a lot of those ideas I've kind of repackaged, and I actually wound up being a part of that group for a little while, and it didn't turn out too well for me. But I learned a lot from the experience, and I definitely learned a lot from that particular book. So let's see if I can paste this link in there. So that is really nice, a link to my website that is in development. It is not even close to finished yet, but since you guys didn't have anything.
Yeah, no, this is great. All right.
Put myself under the microscope.
Hey, I'm glad you're stepping up. Yeah. All right. Oh, I love that picture. That's great.
So I do comedy as well. So I'm trying to mix comedy and spirituality, essentially kind of like the Awaken with JP guy, but I don't want to steal his act or anything, right? I'm not trying to be like him, but that's the closest sort of model that I have.
That's funny because we've been talking about having more comedy in the way we present things. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you tell somebody the truth and you don't make them laugh, then they'll kill you, right? That's what Hemingway said. So.
We haven't been killed yet, but you know, there's still time.
There's still time.
True that.
Nice. So you're working on like some lead magnets, meditations and audiobooks directly to your inbox?
Okay, any bigger?
Yeah, I have a bunch of those that are just on my YouTube channel and a Gumroad account that I was using for a while. The meditations are pretty old, but the audiobooks, that's kind of how I got involved in all of the things that I was doing. Was people really liked my version of the audiobook that I made, and that also got me into some trouble down the road. But that's a long story. I don't want to really.
I see you're comfortably making mistake number 1, so that's good. We can fix that, right, Kara? Kara?
Yeah.
Mistake number 1.
Starting with my
or I. Yeah.
Or I. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the foundational pieces, like when it comes to copywriting is, and you'll hear us say this over and over again, is like, nobody really cares about you. They care
Right.
about how what you offering can help them. So
Right.
starting off your sentences, like starting off the whole thing with my or I or me, instantly puts that spotlight on you rather than your audience.
Sure.
And then they feel lost and they don't care about you. But, and even when you talk about what I often tell my clients is to make sure that they're talking about the clients. So, you know, I do this for you, or because I do this, you benefit like this, you know, so it's not really about you at all. So you shouldn't be in here. It should just tell about you as you relate to the client,
Okay.
whoever pays you money.
I literally took the formula from JP's website.
Ah.
So
yeah, but there is a
basically-
difference, though. There is a
Yeah,
difference.
and I'm not saying that you're wrong. I promise you that.
Oh,
But
no.
I'm just telling you where I'm coming from. Completely just
Totally.
took his template and just threw it over here, and tried to differentiate it a little bit.
So like one of the first things that I would do, because I really like this first sentence and how you do connect it to the benefit for the people. So a way that this could be altered would be to, I'll make one just side note as well, is seeing how these are big blocks of text. People tend to kind of go blind when they see really big blocks of text. So it's important to kind of break things up, bold things that are important, so that, it gives the eye something to settle on. So from there, one of my first thoughts is I really, really love this last part of the sentence. So this could almost be turned into like a headline. Okay. Navigate the unseen mechanisms of reality to become your most authentic and fulfilled self.
Hey, Kara,
mm-hmm.
Is there a way you could throw that in a Google Doc? So, because I'm on my phone and it's not working for me.
Yeah.
I can't, like the black, and I'm squinting, and the
for
rum
sure.
from last night. It's not a good scene.
Well, I'm really glad that I got my computer booted up before this started, because I was like, oh man, if this isn't gonna work for me, I'm gonna have to like have Agnieszka. Whoops, let me get that in.
Oh, it wouldn't be me today. It would be Lauren.
It's like I'm gonna have to have somebody else like share their screen for me and stuff, but it worked out. Okay, so just for example.
I'm seeing 80,000 grammatical errors now.
that always happens.
What if we said ready to navigate with a question mark?
Mm.
And then instead of to, make it an and. Like an ampersand, maybe.
What's your opinion, Agnieszka, with like, I've kind of wondered this as far as like the consistency in a sentence or a paragraph between using one or the other, or if it's something that you should stick to, like if it needs to be consistent. I'm just curious on your opinion on that.
Well, I don't use them in text. I use them in headlines.
Mm-hmm.
And in here, now that I see the second end, I would make it into a comma.
Like turn this into a comma?
No, not the other one.
Ah.
And then also Hemingway's it, right?
Mm-hmm. So I wonder with the book about kind of having that like its own section down on the page. I was thinking like this, you know, being kind of like a headline for a section, and then you could explain more about the book underneath it.
Well, I like my name is Owen Hunt, but I don't know if we should make it about him right there yet. Like
Right.
I would put that whole paragraph about my name is Owen Hunt and put it at the bottom.
At the bottom,
like way end. Bottom.
Yeah, like a call to action.
Mm-hmm.
And then that paragraph that's now the second paragraph, we have to make it all about them.
Right. So maybe the beyond reality sentence, beyond reality is the roadmap, blah, blah, blah. It's designed to show you that would be the next section after the question headline, correct?
Absolutely.
Maybe.
That's
a good idea.
Yeah, I could put that maybe underneath the, yeah.
Don't worry. We'll
yeah, we're just playing.
Reorganize all your sentences.
We're just playing.
No, that's great. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. It's already 100% better just making that one.
Well, and also if you look at it, it breaks it up into 3 paragraphs. That's much less scary for a human being to look at, right?
Yeah.
But I want to break it up some more.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I care about beyond reality? What's in it for me?
Well, I'm not done writing it yet, but the idea is that if you're familiar with reality transurfing, I'm really trying to focus on the idea of pendulums or egregores. You know,
oh my gosh, this still my beating heart. You just said egregores in a sentence. I love it.
Yeah, I like the way he describes it as pendulums better. It makes more sense to me because egregores seems like this demon thing that's just gonna like.
No,
like this conscious entity, but I see it more as like an energetic accumulation of idea, like the nothing in the never-ending story, right? Like the kids.
See, now I want to talk to you about egregores, but I have to stop myself because this is not the purpose of this meeting.
I am making new friends.
But that is the main thing that I'm trying to write this book about. That is what beyond reality is about, right? Like, so beyond this physical space, there is a reality that we cannot see, smell, touch, taste, feel, right? So that is what I'm trying to focus on, which in Vadim's model is the same as the dream world, which would be where these egregores exist, which who knows where that space is or what it is, that doesn't matter, but that our behaviors being unconsciously manipulated by society, by these egregores, these pendulums, and how can we notice that? How can we break free from that and become our most authentic selves?
Well, I think the answer would be building an egregore, like what we're doing in autonomy, where we're building it, on purpose in a specific direction, and calling anything that's not serving the egregore to make sure that it's clean and pure. And that when you enter autonomy, you feel the pull of the energy of excellence. And, that said, maybe since the book is not written yet, the beyond reality, the 2 words, beyond reality, should not be in the second sentence. But the rest of it, I like. I would maybe, my suggestion, my thought at this point would be to say, access a roadmap to your true power as a human being. Ah. Right? And then maybe even put a line break there.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's
You're
a
already
powerful
doing
statement.
that. You're already doing that. You're amazing. My video series. You know, you never want anybody else to watch it, right, Owen? Because it's your video series. That means it's not mine. Only you can watch it if it's yours. What kind of an egregore is that? I'm just joking. I'm an ass. I'm sorry.
You're good. No.
Well, and I think, of course, like referencing, your video series, having like a call to action button to them will definitely be something, of course, that you want in here. But I do agree. I don't think putting it in the sentence, it does kind of, have that energy.
Or ever referring to it as yours.
Mm-hmm.
You created the video series for me. It's nothing to do with you.
What's the name of your video series?
Well, I have a bunch of different series that's on YouTube now, but I'm making one for the book so that if somebody doesn't want to read the book, then they can just watch the YouTube series.
Is that what you would want people to go to from here? Or even like, is your YouTube channel just your name?
It's just Bootsy Greenwood. Yeah. It's yeah, basically. It's got a bunch of audiobooks and then a bunch of different video series on it.
Cool.
So I haven't made the one that's specifically for the book yet, but I want to have one that basically is, it's actually helped me to write the book because I'm so prolific at making YouTube videos. I can just jump in front of the camera, do 10-minute video, like knock that shit out real quick. So if I go, so what I did is I went through and I made a video series that I haven't published yet. It's like a rough draft. And that's, so I'm gone through and what is it called when you have the words written for the thing that you spoke? Anyway, they automatically caption it on YouTube. So I have all of the printouts from that. And then I'm taking that against my rough draft and comparing the two to sort of synthesize those together and hopefully have a congruent framework that makes sense and flows. Doing the video series just kind of helps me outline, I guess. So I'll do a final video series once the book is done that will hopefully have, more concise and better information in it. And then I'll launch that with the book as well, or maybe just after it.
And what is like the primary action that you would like people to take when they come to this page?
I don't know. I haven't published this page yet either. This is really just, I'm working on this to kind of gather all of this all at once. What I'd like to do is have the book ready as well as a comedy special to promote it with sketches and stuff. And that I've been working on. I've got that almost finished. I'm almost finished writing that. And then, basically use that as, the reason why I'm writing a book, honestly, is because I want to legitimize myself. I'm known for, teaching other people's work. But if I write my own book, I feel like that'll be, it'll help me get to where I'd like to go. Where do I want to go? I want to be doing more comedy and performing more and, doing podcasts and things like that. So ultimately that's my goal. As far as what people do.
Yeah, we don't really care about your goals. What do you want? What do they want to take? What action do they need to take? Is what I mean.
Sure. I want them to be able to begin the work on themselves. I really want to reach out to people who are new to either the truth community or the spiritual community and give them an idea of how to break away from all this, all the social stuff, to really work on themselves and really understand who they are. That's what I want. I want people to wake the fuck up. That's what I want. So that's the idea,
that's what we all want.
So in this case, like some of the ways I'm seeing that they could do that would be to pre-order your book or to go watch your videos. And so I'm seeing about 4 top call to actions in this one sentence.
Yeah. It's too early for a call to action. I haven't been sold of what he can do for me yet.
Mhm.
But the other thing that I was thinking is we should get some of the other copywriters in the room to come up with the next couple sentences.
I am going to move this down to the bottom because that is call to action language that should be, that we're not ready
Yes.
for yet. So listeners on the call, what you got?
Yeah, what you got, boys? I don't think there are any girls here today, are there?
I don't think so. Start calling people out.
Maybe something
Holding
like
us back. So something holding us back.
if you've ever been frustrated,
Identifying
or,
that.
you know, something like that.
Um,
Talking about the
I'm
trappings
thinking,
I like
are
it.
you being
Trap.
held back?
What Owen said, something is trapping you.
Uh-huh. I'm just getting
As a question.
the brainstorm parts out so then we can polish as we go.
Come on, boys. You can do it. Come up with another sentence.
Sorry, my sound was off, so I couldn't even hear anybody.
I'm looking at Lawrence and Gabriel. Who else is on the call? Brandon. Macmillan.
Well, if we ask a question, then that second paragraph actually can make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Like how?
So if something is trapping you or holding you back, then if that's true, I've spent several years, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but not I've spent several years. It would be more like after several years, I've
Okay,
discovered
all right, that
that
sounds
you.
better.
Yeah, we gotta fire and brimstone them, right? Isn't that the church way? You scare the shit out of them, and then you offer them the solution, right? That's how it was when I was in the Baptist church. You know, they would just scare you, and it's like, but and I'd be running up to the front of the church, and they'd be like, "No, you prayed the sinner's prayer last week, son." I'm like, dude, I'm praying the sinner's prayer every 10 minutes, bro. I'm trying to go to hell.
Nice. Well, and I think that if you're advertising yourself as a comedian, this whole thing should be funny.
Yeah, that's
Well,
that's
I think there
another-
could be, I think you could
that's another-
start, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, please, Michael. I apologize.
No, I was just going to say, you could start as kind of a straight man and then go into the funny. I think it would be great.
Avoid your own personal hell.
Don't let your unlimited potential wither and die on the vine and rot away and fade into the blackness of infinity or something.
That's dark, man, and poetic. Thank you, Lawrence.
I lost the last part. Don't let your potential fade. Can you recreate that, Lawrence?
Don't let your unlimited potential wither and die on the vine,
Ooh.
rot away, and fade into the black void of eternity.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think, Owen?
Yeah, that's great. I love it. Great.
What about they have designed a personal hell for you to entrap you and keep you? I think that there's more, but I'm sorry, my brain's not 100% today.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, it's systemic, right? You take a problem and you just make it systemic. Avoid your systemic personal hell that has been created around you.
And that is enforced every day through the media, the magic of media, otherwise known as media. And by the way, Owen, if you really like the poetic style of Lawrence, you should really listen to our poetry speakeasy we had the other day.
Yeah, is there a replay of that available
I-
somewhere?
I saw it, but I don't know if it was just a private preview for me or if it was available to everybody else, Dr. Paolo.
Yeah, I think Chris asked me about that last night, and I was like, I don't know if I've personally come across the replay yet. So
I think, yeah, Pablo had this idea of making it perfect, and I was just like, screw it, don't make it perfect. But I don't really want to go behind his back and give you guys the link. We should talk to him first.
I'd love to. I love poetry, and one of my favorite improv games is open mic poetry night. That's really fun.
So we're doing that every second week now, I think, or every third week, or there's a plan. It'll happen again.
Cool.
Tapping into that more creative, poetic side of autonomy. It's been pretty awesome.
Personal challenges and all sorts of things come out of that.
So I also want to make sure that we're able to get to Michael's piece as well. So I'm thinking about kind of leaving this as like a brainstorm. We'll get you this, Doc Owen, so that you have this for like some brainstorming. But let's play around just a little bit more down here, and then we can move along. So we talked about changing
I don't
this.
really care about one's reading list. Like, who the fuck cares what he read? Harry Potter? I don't know.
I never read Harry Potter.
No, but it's like I spent several years reading. That's like wah wah wah.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, brevity is the soul of wit. I'm happy to cut as much out as possible. I just wanted to.
Yeah, that little sentence is not
throw
my
something up, and that was my first draft on. You know, I'll
but
make.
I kind of like the second sentence. I've synthesized several models of reality. I would just say over the years I've synthesized several models of reality.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Already way better.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I would like, just as kind of a last thought, especially just kind of waiting until you like have more stuff set up. But I would even, rather than like listing all this out in a sentence, I would just turn these into some buttons.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So,
if you want to do a call to action, it has to be a clear call to action.
and let's look back at the actual live site right now. I'm just curious. So you have a page for videos, podcasts, goodies. I got to see what's in goodies. Oh, cool.
I have to put more. I just got there like basic starter plan. So I just like haven't uploaded everything to that.
Oh,
yet,
for sure. In progress.
Very much a work in progress.
So Owen, are you doing audiobooks?
I've done a few.
Yeah, because I looked at your YouTube. You've got The Politics of Obedience, Etienne de la Boutier. That's you reading?
Yep.
Cool.
I did the reality transurfing series and people really liked it. I did it like a chapter at a time. It just sort of started coming out. And that's a long book. It's like 800 pages. So, you know, when you ask me if I want to do another audiobook, my first reaction is God, no. But also, like, I'm happy to do it. Specifically if it's for a good purpose, or like I did that Etienne de Laurier book just a couple months ago, and it's done I'm really happy actually. I didn't know that it would get that many listens, but it's done better than the Dow. So, and the Dow has like birds chirping and shit. It's all, you know, dolled up. But yeah, I mean, I just want to do whatever I can to, you know, to help. So trying to figure out what that is. You know, the idea of outer intention is the transurfing term, where basically it's asking the market what it needs, right? And then providing that. So the idea is that you're uniting the opposites or the poles and giving something that you can do, that's your talent, you enjoy doing, to a group of people who need a certain thing. So, so ultimately, right, that's my goal. And I'm happy to accomplish that however it takes. I feel like the purpose and the function are sort of two different things. That's one thing I talk about in the book. But so I would do more audiobooks. Short answer, yes.
So after listening there, I have 2 more copywriting clinics to put on your list. Okay. Number 3 was called Know Your Audience. And that one, we did a deep dive into the process of doing audience research to discover what your market is looking for. And then just last week for number 10, it was called Don't Leave Your Dream Buyer in the Dust. And we talked about targeted marketing and the importance of target marketing and segmentation.
Okay.
So that will really, you know, as you said, you know, you're really wanting to tune into your market and give them what they need and what they're looking for to help them. So that will give you the process of how to really figure that out.
Cool.
And I'm curious, I'm also curious, Agnieszka, for your opinion on this. I observed that the homepage, everything was written in first person, but your bio is written in third person. Agnieszka, do you think what's your opinion on that, on the change? I'm wondering about consistency.
So my first thought was, oh, this is better because it's not all I.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think you have to pick.
Like one or the other.
Yeah. Because if you're going to go I, like I am Owen and in the first page, then having it in the third person, unless it's like a bio, like you could make it into a joke. You could say, hey dudes, if you need a bio, here's one. And then the third person is perfect. Bio, here's one. Oh, nice echo. It's perfect.
Cuando no venga.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Solo.
Oh, Chris.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
We love Chris McMillan.
Oh yes. All right. Well, this has been really awesome checking your stuff out, Owen. Thank you for sharing it with us. And I will make sure that you get the document that we've been working on here. Actually,
thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Sure.
I'm just ecstatic to meet you all, honestly.
Yeah.
And very cool of you to show up to a Saturday event between seasons, Owen. That says a lot about you.
Well, I do have an excuse for that too. I was working on a project and dude, it's been crazy. I've been working on a project for Netflix. There's a show that we just finished called Prank Encounters. We just did the 2nd season. So I'm a producer on the show. I'm not in it or anything, but so oddly enough, you know, we've been doing the COVID tests and wearing masks and all this stuff. So somebody got COVID and then we shot anyway, that like 2 days later, and then they shut the whole production down. So I expected that I wouldn't have any time at all. But luckily I'm kind of on standby, just kind of waiting around. So it's been a pretty interesting sequence of events regarding that. But I'm happy to be here. I really appreciate your guys' insight.
Yeah, and you got lucky because not all the clinics are as excellent as the one that Kara holds every Saturday.
Aw. Thank you, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
All right. Let's keep going. All right, Michael. What's the context on this?
All right, so this is kind of my effort to educate my fellow Acapoqueños. And so I'm going to do a bit of a short story that is going to be something that carries word of mouth. And essentially, you know, as we were talking about yesterday, kind of writing our future into reality. This is an example of that.
Nice.
So I've got a meeting next week on, you know, what we're going to do about Anarchapulco. And so I wanted to kind of create a little bit of a legend going in that essentially we can, you know, kind of, you know, write that good story. It basically says, this is how we win the game.
Can you imagine a bunch of anarchists getting together and wearing masks?
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun unless they were like, you know, V for Vendetta masks.
Right. All right. Hey, Michael, would you like to read this out loud for us, just in case anyone has small screens? And
Sure. I, an Acapulqueño, saved the world. I took off my mask. It was just business. Could be done better. It was just better business for everyone. In a town of entrepreneurs, it quickly became evident the hysteria was suicide, as local businesses attempting to comply with the new rules found out it was ridiculously hopeless. The tables were turned against them, but this was a town used to dealing with threats. And luckily, there was a voluntarious contingent in Acapulco. They had a better idea and were willing to share a way out for a community and a roadmap for the world, a plan B. A visit to Acapulco became a supercharger for voluntarists around the world.
nice. Thank you.
That is nice. And so much better than your previous attempts. Like, there's definite, not saying that they were bad, but I see definite improvement, how you flow sentences and stuff. Jesus.
Yeah, well, this is my subconscious writing, honestly. That's why it's from my journal.
It's eloquently written.
Oh, so that was one of your automatic writing exercises? Nice.
But yeah, I want to use this as kind of the opening for the meeting next week, you know, with the idea. I've got a plan of essentially how to kick off like this new version of Anarchapulco, which is essentially that plan B.
There's something about the flow of this in the quotations and then could be done better. I guess maybe I'd like a little bit more clarity on what you're trying to get at there.
All right, well, when the bad guys basically kill people here, they say it was just business.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the thing about Acapulco is it's you know it's a real town, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't take any bullshit. Just don't last very long here.
So that could be done better.
Yeah, I'm just trying to suggest that, you know, people that are, you know, common street smart people, you know, realize when there's something that could be done better, you know, they're quick to, you know, say, oh yeah, if that'll make me $10 instead of $5, I'm on it.
Mm-hmm. I really like this, Michael. I'm honestly having trouble thinking of like quick improvements, because this is, I really enjoy the creative flow that you brought to this.
Awesome.
I'm not sure
thrilled.
what the could be done better part though.
That's the one that I was hung up on a little bit.
Maybe if we just deleted that could be done better, it would flow properly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something about that in the middle was throwing me off.
How about it was just business became, it was just better business for everyone. Does that make more sense?
I don't, like, I know maybe Acapulqueños may have that reference, but it was just business. I don't know. I would say something like however you want to define the bad guys, say. And it became just better business for everyone. Or some kind of like, there's not, that thought is too short. There's not enough explanation.
Yeah, needs a little something extra, like some extra context or padding, something.
How about death? It was just business.
There you go.
It actually does. It actually does work.
If it was first death was business, then it became a better business, or something like that.
Well, that's not really what I want. I want, you know, I mean, that's how serious it is here. You know, when it comes to something, you know, like you're doing something stupid, you know, when you, you know, I want to make it, I want to make it clear that, you know, people are serious here because it is serious. You know, there is serious things that happen here, but that's that's the kaleidoscope of living here. You know, it's not just that they're serious about that, but they're also serious about living. And that's why this makes sense here. I don't know. Is that coming? I mean, that's kind of the idea I want to get across is living is better business. And that's something else, you know, my vivo intelligente, you know, live intelligently is kind of what I'm, you know, kind of the saying I want to bring across to the people here.
Well, I mean, we could say death, it was just business. Living is better business for everyone. But why does it say it was just better business? So it's no longer better business, like the better business is dead?
Well, that's the quote. That's the quote that people say here. You know, I mean, you know, there's a different quote in Spanish, of course, but that's essentially what they're saying.
So they say it was better business for everyone when they kill somebody?
No, that's what they say when, you know, I mean, that's the thing is we've got a perspective that's on the bad side, but, you know, we need to switch to the good side. And I think you're right, living. The third sentence starts with living. Yeah.
But I'm questioning the word was right there. That because if
well,
living
but that's like a
then
quote.
Death is.
That's like a quote.
Okay.
That's a quote of like, you know, like the typical person that's dealing with death here. They're just saying it was just business. You know,
I think you're not understanding what I'm saying. When you put the word was next to the word living,
but that's dead. A quote. That's a quote from somebody.
Okay.
It was just better business. So then we have to explain a lot more about it. Because living was, that's death. So therefore you're going from death to death. And that's not what you want to say.
No, I'm going to living.
But living was, therefore it's no longer, therefore it's dead.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's the only thing is just changing like this to more of a present tense.
Well, what about future tense?
Well, that's what I'm wondering with this quote, what the quote, because you said we cannot change that quote, right?
Well, you know, that's the saying that's, you know, essentially justifying immoral behavior that is so clear here. And that's why we're saying this is a better way, you know.
Does this work for you? Keeping it in the present tense? Just for this one?
Okay.
So I think that's the one thing that we're kind of thinking about here is just not having living being portrayed in a past sense, in past tense. So just keeping it either present or in some kind. Agnieszka mentioned like maybe future tense, but even just keeping it in the present, like.
How about living intelligently?
Yeah.
All right.
That's definitely better business for everyone.
All right. I love it.
In town of entrepreneurs, it quickly became evident that hysteria was suicide. I really like the wording. I think it's strong, but like evident the hysteria was suicide. I think I want to just make sure that I'm not assuming and ask you to make sure I understand exactly what you mean by the sentence.
Hey,
Well,
I have a really quick change before he answers it.
Okay.
What if we take living intelligently, that whole line, and put it below plan B?
I do like that. What do you think, Mike?
I'm going with it.
Okay. Well, and you still have your original in your journal, so
Yeah.
If we totally change a bunch
Destroy
of
it.
Hey, you still have your original.
That's always with me.
Okay, back to suicide.
I just gotta say, I really like that change though, because it's like it's bringing it all together, in my opinion.
Bookending it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. Gotta say, I'm liking it.
Okay. So quickly became evident the hysteria was suicide.
The thing is, if I can squeeze this into like a business card, I basically want to do the Spanish version and hand it out to people as like a little, little message for people that are wearing masks that I could hand to people here.
You gonna stick around and have a conversation with them, or are you just gonna throw them the card and run away?
Well, I'm hoping that I've got a couple different things in mind, because I'm gonna try and get like little stickers that said I chose not to wear my mask because, something.
Print that whole paragraph on stickers and stick it on their cars and houses. They'll love that.
So I'm curious where the connection is between the town of entrepreneurs and the latter part of the sentence of what does it have to do with it being a town of entrepreneurs that it quickly became evident the hysteria was suicide?
Well, entrepreneurs are a lot quicker to identify, needs and reality of the situation, whereas like, regular people are obviously just sitting in their houses, like waiting for the authorities to, tell them when it's safe to come out. Whereas the entrepreneurs are like, no, I got to actually make an earning. I got to make a living,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was going to say that.
Struggled.
But that sentence maybe should be in the present tense, and I kind of like struggled.
So, but keeping it present tense?
Yeah, because it's happening right now. If he's going to give it to masqueraders, then... And what about making it even more present tense by their finding it? And then, let's go back to the above sentence. In a town of entrepreneurs, it quickly becomes evident.
Hold on a second though. Could this be like something written in the future, talking about the past? So essentially it's like,
yeah,
this is a person from the future talking about how they saved Acapulco or saved
the
world.
I see. So so there is a purpose to the past tense.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right, we'll put this back. Would that be to be ridiculously opus? Or they found it ridiculous? No, that's probably good.
Yeah, shorter the sentence, better.
Mm-hmm.
A question. What if we would put the word how in the beginning as the first word? And not in the sentence at the very top.
Okay.
Which sentence are you talking about?
First sentence.
Oh, how.
How I.
I see what you're getting at.
And I almost want to say when I took off my mask instead of the somewhat awkward period there.
Changing this to when I took off my mask.
What do you think, Michael?
I'm okay with that.
Almost like a...
No, as part of the same sentence. How I saved the world when I took off my mask.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tables were turned against them, but this was a town used to dealing with threats.
Oh man, I'm really liking this because honestly, it kind of sounds like, like that's what the bad guys are killing the local businesses. So it's that death kind of really, that's what they're being threatened with. Oh man, this works.
Oh, and the where willing to share is misspelled. Where is misspelled. There's no apostrophe.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because with apostrophes, we are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this a way out of, like, I think that's a little too impersonal. How can we make that a way out of for a community in a roadmap, make it more personal, more actionable? Like this is a way out.
Well,
for a community and for the world.
It was a way out.
It was.
Again, we're talking about in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a way out.
And also, by the way, for some reason, willing to share strikes me as weak. And yeah, because it's, if you're trying to save somebody's life, willing to share is a little bit lukewarm.
Had a better idea and introduced it to the world, or no?
I'm calling out to, again, fully functional brains, please replace "we're willing to share" with something better. That says the same thing, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I just imagine.
We're passionate about sharing. We're passionate about collaboration.
They had a better idea and a lifeline.
Ooh. Kind of like a lifeline. It may be not quite a lifeline.
Extended it as a lifeline? They had a better idea and extended it as a lifeline?
Extended a lifeline.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yes.
Nice to hear from you, Gabriel.
See, because if you're like dying in the street and you knock on somebody's door and you're like, do you have a defibrillator? And then the guy stands there and goes, well, I might be willing to share. Don't
if we're going to use community, I'd say maybe our community.
Or our community. much stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Yes.
And the roadmap instead of a roadmap. Boom.
Nice. I like it.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
But
Are you
of
happy?
course.
It was tough, Sharon.
It was tough having us carve up your baby. I know. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. But
Oh,
we
man.
sewed it back together pretty okay. It's gonna live.
Oh, I think it's going to grow.
Well, and that's great. It's
I can
like,
tell.
I loved what you wrote, like from the get-go. And I love that, like through this process, we just like boosted it up. Like the core was really strong, just needed a little bit of finessing.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Good job, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Absolutely. Well, I know we're at the top of the hour. I mean, if somebody else has something that you'd like us to look at, I'm willing to go over our time, or we can go enjoy our Saturday. It's up to you guys.
Well, we've got the Great Books Club on the other channel now.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. I always forget which week that happens on. So yeah, this has been awesome. I know it happened like one of the last feedback sessions where we couldn't get to everything. So I just want to shout out that if ever we have a week where we haven't been able to get to something and it's really important to you, reach out to me and we can totally make a little side meeting happen outside of this time frame and help out. So.
And by the way, Kara, you with your proclivities and stuff, you would really enjoy the Great Books Club. So if you're cleaning or something, just turn it on as a radio. Because you're like, oh, I didn't read the book, I shouldn't go, all these excuses. But in reality, if you're like just doing housework or whatever, just turn it on because you'll enjoy it. That's all I'm saying.
I am going to take a nice walk after this. So maybe I'll listen in my earbuds while I walk.
Oh. I just think about you when we're in that club sometimes. So, you know.
Oh. I should check it out. All right. Well, this has been fun. Everyone have a good rest of your day. And I'm glad that you were here, Owen. It was really awesome to meet you and see your work and see what you're working on. And like, welcome. Thanks for diving in.
Thank you, guys. I'm really excited to meet all of you and super over the moon to be a part of the community. So cheers. And if there's anything I can do, please don't hesitate. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Oh, I'm sure we'll find some stuff for you to do.
Oh, for sure.
And if you want to go into the books club, there is no link that appears on the thing. So just let one of us know and we'll hook you up in case.
Thank you. Yeah, I got to run, but I do really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Nice to meet you, Owen.
Later. Good meeting, guys. See you.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Thank you, everyone.